When police opened the camper van, the smell hit them first. Inside, black garbage bags, and in them, the dismembered remains of a 22-year-old nurse named Emily Ferlazzo. But how did we get here? A 911 call from the parents of Emily Ferlazzo for a welfare check on their daughter set off a chain of disturbing events. Joseph Ferlazzo was supposed to be celebrating his wedding anniversary with his wife, Emily, a trip to Vermont in their new camper van. But what started as a dream soon turned into a horrifying nightmare. She decided to walk out after an argument with him and never came back. Emily Ferlazzo had gone missing.
22-year-old Emily Ferlazzo reported missing last night. She was last seen Saturday in Bolton.
October 16th, 2021, Emily and Joseph Ferlazzo set off for a weekend getaway in Vermont. It was their first wedding anniversary, and they were thrilled at the thought of their dream van life, sunsets and drinks in their newly converted camper van, golden autumn leaves painting the perfect scene. But by that same night, Emily was gone. Joseph later claimed they had a heated fight, and Emily walked off on foot. No phone, no keys, just vanished. He went to a nearby store. When he returned, she was gone. At least that's what he told everyone. But Joseph didn't call for help. No 911 call, no missing persons report. Instead, Joseph did something odd, maybe even suspicious. He hung out with friends, stayed at his sister's Airbnb, lived his life like nothing had happened. When people asked where Emily was, he said, "She's in the van." But why lie? Why not panic? Why not search for her? Was it because he already knew? 2 days passed. On October 18th, 2021, Emily's parents called 911. They hadn't heard from her in days. They asked for a welfare check on their daughter. That's when everything began to unravel. Police began questioning Joseph. He was her husband, after all, the man who vowed to love and protect her. But his story didn't hold. First, he said Emily was asleep in the van. Then he said she walked off after an argument. The inconsistencies were obvious. So, officers pushed harder. Eventually, Joseph cracked.
I had a fucking lapse, and did something that I can't undo, so here we are.
All right. Well, why don't we, I think what would be helpful for me is just have you start from the beginning of what happened. And
Emily Ferlazzo was just 22, a nurse, an animal lover, a daughter who called home every day. She lit up every room she walked into, but everything changed in 2020. That's when she met Joseph Ferlazzo, a tattoo artist nearly 2 decades older. Their relationship moved fast, married in 4 months. Emily saw it as whirlwind romance. Her parents saw red flags. Joseph was controlling, possessive, always checking in, not out of love, but control. His questions became accusations. He demanded Emily come home early from work to prove she wasn't cheating. Adrienne, Emily's mom, noticed bruises. Emily brushed them off, said Joseph would change. He didn't. On October 15th, 2021, they left for Vermont. It was supposed to be a romantic trip, but by that night, everything changed. Joseph claimed they argued. Emily wanted space, walked into the woods. She never came back. What he did next didn't scream panic or grief. He showered at his sister's Airbnb, ate a hearty breakfast, drank with friends, attended a barbecue, all while Emily's lifeless body was just feet away in the van. Cops started digging. No one had seen Emily, not walking away, not at all. Her phone, wallet, and clothes were all still in the van, and her digital footprint, gone. Emily, who texted her parents every day, had suddenly gone silent. Her phone and bank cards had zero activity since October 15th. Either something stopped her from reaching out, or she was already gone. On October 19th, police got a warrant to search the camper. The moment they stepped inside, they were hit with the stench of decay. They found large black garbage bags. Inside were the dismembered remains of Emily Ferlazzo.
Happy enough to have a holiday party tonight.
Large trash bags.
White.
Joseph confessed. They argued. Emily told him she wanted a divorce. She was done. She lay in bed scrolling her phone. He sat silently nearby. Then, he picked up a pillow and pressed it over her face. And with a gun in his hand, he fired twice. She never had a chance to scream. He dragged her body to the van's bathroom, shut the door, left. He ate, socialized. Her body stayed just feet away. Later, he drove to a remote location, took out tools, and dismembered her body. He planned to get rid of her remains before anyone found them, but the worst part hadn't been uncovered yet. Forensic analysis revealed, after he shot her, Joseph stabbed Emily 18 times. This wasn't panic, it was rage, but he wasn't done lying. In December 2024, 3 years later, Joseph's story changed again. Now, he claimed self-defense. He said Emily hit him, tried to grab a gun under her pillow.
So I was climbing over her, and she shouted, fuck off. And she like threw an elbow at me, and elbowed me in my groin.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, it hurt. It was like right to my genitals.
But the medical examiner destroyed that lie. Emily hadn't moved. No defensive wounds. She was still when she was shot. The jury saw the photos, they heard the lies, and they saw Joseph partying days after the murder. If it was self-defense, why lie? Why hide her body? Why dismember her? The answer was simple. Joseph didn't kill Emily because he was scared. He killed her because he couldn't control her anymore. And when she decided to leave, he made sure no one else could ever have her. The jury didn't need long. Guilty. Joseph Ferlazzo was charged with first-degree murder, desecration of a corpse, and obstruction of justice. He now awaits sentencing, early 2025. Prosecutors are seeking life in prison with no parole. For Emily's family, a weekend getaway became the darkest chapter of their lives. Emily's case stands as a chilling reminder. Controlling relationships can escalate into something far more dangerous. Her family now works to spread that message, to protect every young woman.
She was full of energy. She was always there for her friends if they needed help. She loved to sing. She was an LNA and enjoyed taking care of other people. She was
An animal lover.
Yeah.
Love shouldn't cost you your life. But what do you think?